Wait, where are we?
We have arrived in a period of time before your recorded history, the time of a mighty Alicorn empire.
Wait, that's not right. The Alicorn civilization existed many moons ago, but there weren't any confirmed documents that stated what really happened to it. I do have my own theory on it, but still.
That may or may not be the reality in your world. However, here it is all too real, and will lead to further repercussions even to the future. You will feel the ramifications in this world for eons.
Okay then, if you know so much about it, then what happened?
Listen carefully, because I will only tell this once. This is the story of the rise of the nightmare hosts and the fall of Sol Tenebris. History has long forgotten the kingdom of Alicorns that ruled peacefully over what would one day become Equestria. The final king of this peaceful kingdom would have two sons, their names lost to the sands of time. They would change the world and the kingdom forever. One day, the brothers would disappear. The kingdom would search frantically until the two re-emerged forever changed.
So, how were they changed then?
They had become the first Nightmare Alicorns.
My dear people, for too long we have stagnated in our comfortable lives. My brother and I had left this place in search of an answer to what our purpose was. Finally, we returned to you with an answer. We have cast off our lesser forms and become what we were truly meant to be. We have found the next step in the history of all Alicorn kind. And I, Sol Tenebris, will be the one to lead this kingdom to its rightful place in the world. For those who bow before us, there will be peace and prosperity unlike any era before. For those that dare stand against us, there is only the hope of a swift death.
His newly acquired power allowed him to take the kingdom from his father with little resistance. He then began corrupting the Alicorns, turning them into nightmares. These nightmares would become the military force known as the Nightmare Hosts. This army would sweep across the known world, wiping out all who stood in their path.
What? Wouldn't that just create rebels in the process? I mean, you can't rule a world through fear.
Yes, in fact, the vast majority of the uncorrupted Alicorns were very heavily against the rapidly growing empire and its brutality. However, those that publicly dissented were made brutal examples of. It was many years before those that couldn't stand it any longer met in secret.
This has gone too far. Genocide is not what the Alicorns should be remembered for. He must be stopped.
What would you propose? We storm the castle and demand he dismantled his army? He would have us publicly tortured just so he can make an example of us. We need a plan.
What about a spell to trap him forever? None of us could defeat him alone, but perhaps there are some spells that could prevent him from being a threat any longer.
As far-fetched as it may sound, it may just work. It would mean we may lose many of our numbers, but if we pull it off, we will bring peace to the world. It's worth a try.
They set to putting their plans into motion. They gathered many casters of like mind and great skill to craft and cast the spell that would seal the Prince of Corruption, Sol Tenebris.
Sol Tenebris, your days are numbered. We will not let you terrorize Equus any longer.
Terrorize? I am simply ridding our birthright of the filth that keep it from us. We are meant to rule this world as gods, not watch the ungrateful masses squander our good graces.
You are far from a god. You are more monster than Alicorn. If we were meant to be gods, then why do you slay those we should protect?
I simply rid Equus of those who will not submit.
He is beyond reason. Begin the spell!
In the end, they were successful in trapping the Prince of Corruption in Crystal. However, the toll on their forces was incalculable. They spent several months toppling the Nightmare hosts as well. When it was finally done, they convened to decide what to do next.
Brothers, we finally won.
But at what cost? Are we only postponing the inevitable? He has already proven that our power is too much for this world if we rise united against it.
There may still be a solution.
What do you have in mind?
The group had heard whispers of a warlock ram that had been grafting beasts together with magic.
Wait, you mean Grogar?
Yes, and they would approach him with a request.
Are you Grogar?
Depends. Who's asking?
Our people have done irreparable damage to Equus. We have decided that we can no longer continue as we are.
And you want me to do the deed.
We have heard that you are capable of combining beasts into monsters. We were hoping that you are capable of breaking them apart.
Of course I can do that. Though it will take me some time.
Very well.
Well.
I certainly wasn't expecting the Alicorns to come to me to remove them from the board. This will make things much easier.
The remaining Alicorns would gather the majority of their number and submit to Grogar's spell. They would leave 2 of their number to carry on their legacy and to steward the races that rose from the Alicorns' ashes. Those 2 would go into hiding and eventually give birth to the 2 sisters. The Alicorns that submitted to the spell would become the 3 tribes of ponies you know today.
You mean Earth Ponies, Unicorn, and Pegasi?
Correct.
What about this Soul Tenebris? What happened to him? I mean, avoiding and sealing our problems away doesn't always seem to work out well for us.
In this world, he would eventually be freed. However, a group of individuals known as the Peacemakers would defeat him once and for all. It was my first success in this conflict.
What conflict?
Anyways...
Wait, you can't just talk about a conflict and never explain it.
Actually, I can.
Well, it's not like this was my version of Equestria. Nameless is a bit weird. Anyway, I want to thank everyone, including those that have joined me on my Patreon, especially my Alicorn and Creature tier, Princess Sam, Sapphire Sparkle, and Angel of Speed, and a special thanks to my Derpy tier patrons, Scarmex, who says that the Cutie Mark Crusaders make every episode better. And I couldn't agree with you more. And Trailblazer, who says, Woot Scootaloo! And I love it. Anyway, for all of those that do want to join me on Patreon and help support what I do, the link will be right above. And for all of those wondering, yes, I have made my Patreon server public. So if you guys want to hang out and talk to me about theories or anything, feel free to join. The link will be in the description and also on the channel. Also, Nameless has just opened up the Nexus. It's a place where all theorists can go if they want to talk about ponies. Plus, on top of that, all you have to do to get in is have one theory video on your channel. So I say if you want to actually do something and connect with the rest of the theory community, this is it. Join us in the Nexus. I'll be waiting for you. Anyway, I'm Windstriker Brony, flying off until Friday. Hoof to heart.